Hey friends, we're looking today here, daily 23, the last method we are going to discuss for solving quadratic equations. This method here is foolproof. It works, every single time. If you have an equation that's not factorable, you are always able to use the quadratic formula. Again, we're looking to have our equation in our format in which all terms on one side of the equation equal to 0. We've got ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Standard form, all set. Our three values, a, again, is our value in front of the x or variable squared. B is the value in front of the variable to the first power. And then c is my lone numerical integer value. I am then going to do a little plug and chug. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. Now, in my experience here of working with students using the quadratic formula, a lot of times there will be a mistake in which students take the formula and put everything all over just the number 2, but remember it is 2 times the value of a. I'll walk through that here with our 4 examples in the notes today. So as I look at example 1, I've got 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 equals 0. So I am in the correct form. I'm just going to write down here, a is 2, b is 3, and c is negative 5. So I've got my ABC values. So I'm going to find my solutions by taking the opposite of b, and then here's this plus minus. We'll talk about that here in just a second. So negative 3 plus or minus the square root. I always find it beneficial or useful to put all of my input values in parentheses. That helps me with minus signs and making sure I get everything calculated out properly. So I got opposite of b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a is 2 times c is negative 5. I'm going to divide that then by not 2, but 2 times a, so over 2 times 2. So simplifying, I'll have negative 3 plus or minus my square root. 3 squared will give me 9, minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times negative 5, negative 40. Again, divide that by 2 times 2, which is 4. So I'm going to simplify here 9 minus negative 40 to 9 plus 40. So I'll have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 49 over 4. So we know the square root of 49 is 7. So here's where I need to take 2 calculations. First, I'm going to take negative 3 plus 7, and then divide by 4. So there's calculation number 1, and then calculation number 2 will be negative 3 minus 7 over 4. So negative 3 plus 7, 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So 1 is one solution. And then negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10. Negative 10 divided by 4 is negative 2.5. So those are my 2 solutions. Again, keep everything in order, take your time, and you will be a-okay. Let's take a look at a second example here where I do not have my equation in standard form. Again, it doesn't matter if you have like your 0 on the left side or the right side of the equation. So if you have 0 equals everything else, that's fine too. So in my opinion, it would be easier to just move this 2x versus moving your x squared and negative 3 over. So I will illustrate that here, subtracting 2x from both sides. I'll have x squared, get a little partition here, x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. So there we have it. Our a value is going to be 1 since I have 1x squared. B is negative 2. And C is negative 3. So using my formula, again, I'll take the opposite of B. So I'm going to go 2 plus or minus the square root of B squared, so negative 2 squared, minus 4 times A is 1 times C is negative 3. And I'll divide that all by 2 times A. So 2 times 1, which is, in this case, 2. Hope you're having fun watching me crunch and munch. I bet you can do it just as good, if not better than me. If I'm going too slow for you, again, I'm just trying to show each and every step. We've got negative 2 squared. Don't forget here, negative times negative will give me positive 4. And then I've got minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 3 is negative 12. All over 2. So I'll also simplify 4 minus a negative will become 4 plus 12. So I will have 2 plus or minus the square root of sweet 16 all over 2. Square root of 16 we know is 4. So my two solutions will be 2 plus 4 divided by 2 and 2 minus 4 divided by 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. So positive 3 and negative 1 would be the two solutions that I can plug in for x to make this equation 0. Isn't this great? Woo! Celebrate. Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. Example 3 here. If you want to move your 2x over and positive 1 over, you can. Or you can move your 3x over and join everything up on the right side. So I moved my 3x squared over by subtracting that 3x squared from both sides. So I'll have 0 equals negative 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. So A is negative 3, B is 2, and C is 1. So I'm going to crunch and munch, your favorite. Solutions are the opposite of B, so negative 2 plus or minus my square root of B squared, so 2 squared, minus 4 times A is negative 3 times C is 1. And I'm going to divide this all by 2 times A. So 2 times negative 3. Deep breath, we got this. So negative 2 plus or minus square root 2 squared is 4 minus 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 times 1 is still negative 12 all over 2 times negative 3, negative 6. The 4 minus a negative will become 4 plus. So I've got negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 16 all divided by negative 6. So square root of 16 we know is 4. So for my two solutions, I'll take negative 2 plus 4 divided by negative 6. Negative 2 and 4 is 2. 2 over negative 6 is negative 1/3. And then negative 2 minus 4 over negative 6 gives me negative 6 over negative 6, which is positive 1. Yes. Woo! Last one. You can do it. I'll add 5x to both sides to get my equation equal to 0. So I've got 12x squared. Again, I'm going to write my x to the first power term next, so plus 5x minus 2 equals 0. I'm going to list my ABC values. A is 12, B is 5, and C is negative 2. Solutions. The opposite of B, so negative 5, plus or minus my square root of B squared, so 5 squared, minus 4 times A is 12 times C is negative 2. And I'll divide this by 2 times A. Whew. 2 times 12. Big denominator. That'll be 24. Okay, so we got negative 5 plus or minus my square root. B squared, 5 squared is 25, minus 4 times 12 is 48. 48 times negative 2 is negative 96. And we said all over 24. Okay, so here 25 minus a negative will become 25 plus 96. So negative 5 plus or minus my square root of 25 and 96 is 121. So 121 has a square root of 11. So we'll have negative 5 plus 11 over 24, and then negative 5 minus 11 over 24. Negative 5 plus 11 is 6. 6 over 24 will reduce to a fourth. My other solution, negative 5 minus 11 is negative 16 over 24. Will reduce to negative 2/3. So again, when do you want to use this method? Well, if you have guess and check factoring, that might take you a long time. If you have an equation that is unfactorable, not saying this doesn't take time, but at least there is a, uno, dos, tres, 1, 2, 3 step process for you to go through. The downside to it is it can be, long to do, could be inefficient, but the benefits sometimes can outweigh the consequences of using it. So this is going to be one of our tools that we use to help us solve quadratics, and when we talk quizzes, tests, you will always have the choice to solve using the method you are most comfortable with. Again, we want you to make informed decisions in which you are able to be the best you can be. So thanks for your time. Enjoy D23.